Have you noticed that it has never been easier to learn something, and yet it has never been easier to actually stay focused, remember what you've learned, apply it, and turn it to real skill? For every topic you want to learn, there is a course, there's a thread, there's an article, there's a book, there's a PDF, there is literally thousands and thousands and thousands of learning options or avenues you can consider as a path you could take to learn anything you want to learn. And the constant connectivity, the pings, the dings, the notifications, um, the shorten our attention span, making deep focus a difficult task. Today, I will be exploring an approach that could help. One of the ways we could approach learning in today's era is a way where we are not just consuming information, but we break down the parts in processes that allow us to immediately start taking action to learning and practicalizing whatever skill, whatever tool we are trying to get familiar with. Um, a businessman, Alex Hormozi, he popularized this saying that something happens. When behavior changes, that is when learning has occurred. I'm paraphrasing. So it is till there is a change in actions and behavior, that is when you can actually say you've learned something. It is till you have practically used whatever insight you studied about or you learned about. That is when you can truly say you have seen or learned something. And I don't know if you can relate with this. A number of times, you can learn about something theoretically. It is until you start using whatever tool or framework you've learned, that is when you begin to make connections by your own self. Things that are not even mentioned in the courses or videos. It is when you're using and when you're in that place of momentum and action that things become really clearer. So, how can you approach this new style of learning, or not necessarily new? How can you approach learning in this way? One way to do this is pick a micro project. The smaller it is, the better it is. You want something that is micro, micro enough that you don't get overwhelmed by the size of it, and easy enough to do that you can see and receive feedback after doing whatever it is you have started doing. So feel free to use whatever tool, whatever LM, whatever large language model, ChatGPT, AI, Claude, whatever it is you want to use, you can use them provided you're using them to get momentum. You're using them to practically implement whatever it is you're learning. Yeah? Approach it with one goal at a time, chunk it, reduce the task, don't overwhelm yourself. I've been Bright Nika. I'll see you tomorrow.